We concluded the class focusing on a famous, illustrious, humorous follower of the first Rebbe of Chabad, Shmuel Munkes, how he critiqued a couple's preparation for the high holidays and finding out that maybe they were right and he wasn't. There's a story. There was a famous follower, disciple of the first Rebbe of Chabad that we mentioned before, the Alter Rebbe. His name was Reb Shmuel Munkes. He was a very humorous person. And he often did many funny things with a very serious point. Like one prank he once did was he hung himself. He was like hanging outside the house of his leader, his Rebbe, his teacher, the Alter Rebbe. And everybody walks by and says, Shmuel, what are you doing there? Like, come off the house. What are you up to? What prank do you have in mind now? And he said, what are you talking about? A shoemaker, he puts a picture of a pair of shoes. A tailor puts clothing. But what does a Rebbe make? A Rebbe makes chassidim. So here I am. I'm hanging. I'm the chassid. I'm the picture of the chassid. There's many, many stories with him, like in a rather unusual way, trying to express a very profound point. So one year, he was traveling to be with his Rebbe, his teacher, the Alter Rebbe, for the high holidays. And he really wanted to get there already the Shabbos before Rosh Hashanah, because there's very special prayer services, as I just mentioned, called slichos or slichot, that begin the Saturday night, most years the Saturday night before Rosh Hashanah. This year, because Rosh Hashanah is Sunday night, we started a week early, because otherwise we only have one night, and you need at least, I think, 3. So this year we started a week early, and we have a whole week. But it's very profound prayers, it's repentance, beseeching God. And the first prayer, traditionally, we say the prayers either early in the morning or late at night. So everyone, the first Saturday night, gathers in synagogue after Jewish midnight, which is around about 1, to say the prayers. And most of the rest of the days, people rise very early to say the prayers. Though some people do say them very late, again, like 1 o'clock in the morning for the week. So here it is, and this is what all Jews have been doing for centuries. You know, again, banging on God's door. We do not wait for Rosh Hashanah. No, we start already the whole month of Elul, and for sure that last week with our slichot, our slichos prayers, petitioning, begging, beseeching God. So one year, Reb Shmuel Munkes got stuck. He meant to already, of course, be by his teacher, by his Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe, for these special prayers, but he didn't make it for whatever reason. He got stuck in a small village. Of course, he looks like a very distinguished rabbi, which he was. Very special person, and he got put up in someone's house. Wow, they're like, wow, we have really special holy guests, and he was there the whole Shabbos. They could see he's a very special person, very religious person, very knowledgeable person. And now it comes Saturday night. So generally what the people would do, I mean, in those days, people didn't just stay up till 1 in the morning. So they went to sleep, and however much, a half an hour or so before the prayers, the beacon of the town, of the synagogue, will go proclaiming in the streets, Jews, get up from your sleep, get up, go to synagogue, pray. So everyone goes to sleep. Shmuel also goes to sleep. Well, they all went to sleep. That was normal. And then, probably about 12:30, 12:15, they hear. Of course, they all know to expect this, so they're sleeping sort of lightly. And he sits in the beacon. He's saying, Jews, wake up from your sleep. Jews, wake up, come to synagogue to pray. And of course, the husband, the wife, they get dressed, they're all ready. If there are children in the house, they're all ready. But wait, what about our very, very holy guest? Our very religious guest? Where is he? He's still sleeping. How could he possibly be sleeping? I mean, he knows he has to get up to say these prayers. I mean, how could he sleep with all the noise we're making? They don't want to intrude. They knock on his door gently. He doesn't respond. Louder, he doesn't respond. Probably they knock very, very, very loud. Reb Shmuel, you have to get up. You have to get up. He's like, why do I have to get up? I'm like, what do you mean? Why do you have to get up? We have to go to synagogue to pray now. It's like, why do we have to go to synagogue to pray in the middle of the night? Like, what is going on? Every Jewish child knows. Tonight we go to synagogue to pray. Why? They said, for a good year. It's like, what do you ask God for tonight? You have to leave your bed in the middle of the night. What do you ask God for? So the man was a simple man. He said, well, I want to make sure my cow gives more milk. And I want to make sure my oats, they sell for a good price in the market. I mean, my daughter hopefully will get married. I need to have money. I want to make sure my horse doesn't break a leg. I had a horse that broke a leg. It was a financial disaster. So you're getting up in the middle of the night to pray for milk and the price of oats and a horse's leg? Thus goes the story. Obviously, we assume that Shmuel Milkas got out of bed and went and prayed the sleepless prayers. That wasn't his point. But he had a point. How do you think the couple understood his point? What point was he trying to teach them? What was he trying to say by his bashing their thoughts on getting up in the middle of the night and going to pray? Any thoughts on what he was trying to tell this simple couple by and all of us by his story, by his acting this out? He was trying to tell them a lesson about praying to God, about Rosh Hashanah, about going to synagogue at 1 a.m. for the slichos prayers. He was trying to tell these simple people, in a way, hopefully they understood, you're not going to synagogue for your milk and your oats. There's much, much more sublime issues going on here. You're crowning God as king. You're evoking his desire to rule. You're negating yourself in front of God. You're searching yourself, soul searching yourself, repenting, coming to God, cleansed in a way you haven't been for a year. And you're not coming to God to pray for milk and oats. Something much, much deeper is going on than your milk and your oats. That was his message to them. That's what he was trying to convey by saying, old couple in the middle of the night have nothing better to do than go to synagogue to pray for milk and oats. Meaning, that's not what this is all about. Not about the price of oats and how much milk your cow gives. It's about courting God. It's about connecting to God. It's about cleansing yourself before God. That's what's going on. But the truth is, actually, he wasn't exactly right. Though he was very well-meaning and very wise, but he wasn't exactly correct in what he was saying. Because if you will look in the prayer book, we have a special prayer book for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's called a machzor. So if you go to a synagogue, they would have a machzor there. If you not go to a synagogue, you want to make sure you have a machzor. In the, as we call them, good old pre-COVID days, when we met in person, I would always bring a stack to my house for the class before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur because I wanted to make sure everyone can take one home with them. If you would like, of course, we got a few weeks, I will bring, and you could come by to pick up one, to have a prayer book in English that goes through all the prayers. And if you read that machzor in English, or if you find a Russian one, it's full of very personal, very practical, very physical requests. It might not literally say milk and oats, but it talks about all those issues. There's a lot that we're asking God. I need this, and I need this, and I need this, and I need this. My cow and my horse and my oats. Or for us, it might be our job and our car and our payments and all our fears and concerns and worries on the most practical, physical level. All the things on our head. This one's health. This one's relationship with their children, with their spouse, this one needing a spouse, this one needing children, very practical, physical things that we go through our lives. But at the same time, Shmuel Milkas was correct. These are the holiest days of the year. It's all about evoking God's desire to rule. So we really have both. And it might seem like a bit of a conflict. We have the loftiest day, inspiring God to rule us for another year. And we have in our heart and full of our machzor, mundane requests. And the truth is, all of our prayers have that same paradox. And I wanted to speak a little bit about prayer, because as both Chav and Rivka said correctly, prayer is a big component of this month. This is a month of turn to God, and we turn to God and talk to him through prayer. So if you think about prayer, we have that exact same issue. prayer is the soul's communion with the Creator. It's Shabbos, in an earthbound day, an island of heaven. And that's what the word prayer means in Hebrew. The word for prayer in Hebrew, I know Chava has her funny story of the word daven, but in Hebrew, it's called tefillah. And tefillah does not literally mean to pray. Tefillah means attachment. Because that's what we're doing. That's what prayer is all about. It's our endeavor to rise above our physical concerns and attach. Connect ourselves with God, with the Creator, with our divine source. And at the same time, as I'm doing this tefillah, this attachment of my soul to God, I'm beseeching Him for all of my physical, mundane, everyday needs. When you pray, why are you praying? What is your focus when you pray? Who would like to share what they think about when they are praying? When you are praying, what are you thinking about? What are you have in your head when you are talking to God?
Hi.
Hi, Rafael.
So whenever the prayer is done right and I can focus, then of course I look at the words, and luckily I understand Hebrew very well, and I feel, I connect to what I say, but that doesn't always remain for the remainder of the davening, because then your head goes and think about other things, and then you try to bring yourself back. But what I wanted to say is, how when Shabbos comes and, after Ben Shlichting, you just feel like this holiness. And when you learn, or when you do anything with Kedusha, it's like you feel, you understand better. It's like heaven opens and then you're somewhere else. This Elul, it's just like, I don't know what happened. Maybe because I'm in Chicago and it's a holier place or something. But I just never entered Elul in such a yearning, to get closer to Hashem. And then, the Sfaradim already started their Selichot, and I listened.
The whole month. They say it every day for the month.
Oh my! And so it just brings me back to how they wake up my father at 4 a.m, and to hear, it's just like, I'm in it. I'm mamash in it. Bezrat Hashem, I hope it will continue until Yom Kippur.
That's beautiful. If it starts fading, push harder. That's beautiful. So Rachel is saying, she said a few interesting points. She said that when I asked what is the focus of your prayer, she said, hey, it depends which second you catch me on. Is it a second that I'm focused? Is it a second that I'm spaced out? I totally relate. I've got those and those, both, probably within the same 5 minutes. Very easy. We are a very ADD generation. Very easy for us to space out. Very easy for me to space out. I have to keep reining myself back in, keep reminding myself I'm talking to God and He's listening. Now I talk to God all day long. But I tell myself, yes, I talk to God all day long, but now is the official time I'm supposed to be talking to Him. It's a different energy. It's a different import. And the talking to Him is through the words of prayer, through thinking of the meaning, or if it's you don't know the meaning, you're not praying in the language you understand, focusing on God. Accept my prayers as if I knew what I was talking about. Take what I'm saying and give it the wings that you have. And yes, sometimes we can stay focused like that so beautifully for like 27 seconds. And we're like, wow, this is so sweet. This is so great. And then boom, we suddenly find ourselves like a million miles away. Got transported really fast. Our thoughts fly. And then we have to pull ourselves back. But Rachel is right. What prayer is what Elul is. Prayer is that island. We say that every day in the weekday when you pray, it's like Shabbos. Prayer is the Shabbos of the weekday. So Elul is like a whole month of Shabbos in the fields. So it makes a lot of sense what Rachel is saying. Anyone else? Anyone else could share what their focus is when they pray? besides focusing to stay focused, but that could definitely be what you call your focus. Anyone else? It's interesting to try to challenge yourself with that question. When I pray, what am I thinking about? What is my focus? If my focus is, as Rachel was saying, when she's focused, the meaning of the words, which is really what our focus is supposed to be. We're supposed to be thinking about the words. Well, we've got this duality, almost this paradox, that we're really focusing on God, the Creator, His majesty, His glory, His limitless love for us. And we're focusing on our needs. They're both interwoven in our prayers. And of course, how much more so on the high holy days, when we look at the prayers there. And on Rosh Hashanah, we're standing for God. We're crowning Him as King. We're pledging to Him a total abnegation of our own self, our own desires. Everything is going to be subsumed in His will. And I need my oats and my milk and my horse. And I really do need them. So what's going on? Why are we talking about our personal needs, this health and this financial issue, this practical issue, this health issue, this relationship issue, this healing issue? I'm talking about God and my lack of existence and the totality of His existence and my stuff. Now it's a little bit late and it's a little bit of a deeper answer, but so I'm just going to try to, I think, summarize this very important point. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm just thinking. Even I want to say it fast. I'm not going to say it fast enough. You know what? We are going to stop at this point. We're going to stop with the question. Spend a week mulling over it. Why on the holiest of days, when I am literally crowning God and evoking in God the desire to rule, am I also, yes, I am, and it's not wrong, I am focused on my oats and my cow and my horse. I am focused on all the detail of my life and all of the lives that are on my heart. Parents, our children, our spouse, our friends. We have multiple lives we're thinking about, multiple practical, simple requests we want for every single person on our list. And we're standing for God and crowning Him as King and saying He is all and there's nothing but Him. And somehow there's a perfect synergy of God's absolute realities and my personal wish list. And we'll discuss that next week. Thank you so much for joining. Rita, thank you so much for bringing a friend. That's so nice. We're so excited, Jana, that you came. We hope you will make it next week. We're so excited. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
And we should have a meaningful week because, hey, the King's in the field.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope I take advantage. I'm blessing myself that I should take advantage. I'm blessing everyone here that we should all take advantage. Truly feel the difference. You know, Rachel was saying how when you light the candles of Shabbat, you can sort of breathe in something different. The air is a little different. You feel it. Maybe you're a little more calm. There's something going on different because it's Shabbat. The same thing is true of this month. In this month, literally, if you're sensitive, you smell something different. And if you're not sensitive, take it on faith. The air is different. It's an Elul air. I hope I take advantage. I hope you all take advantage and have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining.